Hello, it's Brandon. I'm here again for a quick little session of Breaker. Luna is trying to find herself. Luna is trying to find information that will make her understand what's happening to her and if it's going to give her the ability to rescue her family, if not the world. We left her off camping for the night, resting because of nearly getting herself hurt. She is full of doubt at the moment that this is going to happen, but she's still motivated. So, and when I say that, I'm not just saying it fictionally. Like, she literally is full of doubt. She has 5 doubt, full of doubt, and but she still has all her motivation, so she's still motivated. So when I talk like that, I mean it because it's a Breaker, and that's how Breaker rolls. Her goal is to find out what she is, to find out a name or what she can do, and I need to get 5 control to make that happen. So let's make it happen. She's going to wake up, and then she's going to dive further into this underground area that she found. She's going to use her traveling tools again, which I have concluded have a torch. Now, traveling tools are kind of like just a packet of stuff that whatever I need. The problem with traveling tools is that if I'm using it and I suffer a loss of a boon, that's what goes. And so this packet of stuff, it's all gone. So if I would divide them out like torches and shovel, I might just lose one of those things. But because I have them all in a package, I'll lose them all. So it's however you want to do it. Anyways, traveling tools, she's kind of sneaking around. So we're using the Rapscallion. And then, where were we last roll? So we'll just say that we'll start in the middle of motion. And since it's a light die that was low roll, we'll start her as love. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it might not make sense to you guys, but it makes sense in my head right now. She has a dream. She has a dream of her parents and her family. And when she wakes up in the morning, she's filled with the love of her memory of how they were before the Great Dark came. And that's why when she descends into the ancient ruins of the Thaumaturgus temple, that's what she's feeling. So that gives me a 2, this gives me a 1, and this gives me a 2. I only have a 5. It's pretty dang low at the moment, but I get a strong hit anyway. Look at that, both of my dice are under it, and this light die low. So on a strong hit, I get to choose something from the favorable result, and I'm going to choose control. If given a choice, I will almost always choose control or clarity, because clarity is your experience. Control is getting your goals, so they all move you forward. Boons are good if you've lost them, or you need one that'll give you the extra plus. And losing pressure is always good. However, I'm a fan of spinning pressure off into other goals, so, you know, it just depends on how you want to play it. Moving forward, she finds that the temple, or the ruins, are really intact. After the first room she was in, and past the bodies that she left on the steps, she finds that they're not that destroyed. And that gives her hope. And as she travels through the dark passages unhindered for a little bit. And that's what moves her forward. And it gives her hope. So we're going to roll this again, but this time she's doing it with hope. Hope. And I'm not sure what the temples look like. I think they might have been stripped of everything before they fell to ruin, like as much as possible. So when the thaumaturgists turned on each other and failed, they kind of imploded, and then after they left, people came and robbed them of all their stuff, and so like any arts or treasures or anything like that is just gone. There's just broken rubble and, you know, maybe some skeletons that have been dead, that type of stuff in here, but it's not like spectacular. And since this is the underground, I'm not sure it even has like a grand architecture, but I don't want it to feel like a normal dungeon-y. I want it to be like a little like arched roof, arched hallways, that type of thing. But any like really good art has been pilfered and a lot of stuff's been destroyed. But she still finds it amazing. Even like half reliefs still carved into the stone and that type of thing. So I'm going to go roll these dice again. No, that took me down to 4 motivation because I did 2. And then I got a miss completely. So something bad's going to happen to her here. Choose a roll 1 from the unfavorable results. Let's go ahead and roll a d10. 9. Gain pressure. What is that? What would that pressure be? Did I roll a 9 and a 10? No, it's an 8 and a 10. Dark die low. She's going to go shifting. Lowest emotion, and she's going to suffer fear. So the dark die is low. It's the lowest one at 8. And because I have missed, I have to use one of my lowest emotions, which would be fear. So, and then 8 indicates to me that it's chaos, and the 10 is dissolution. So like this hope, this like, oh, this is all good. This is happening. I can find my way through this. This is all constructed. I think it falls away rather quickly when she realizes that she's lost. She finds, and I think it's like magical lost. Like she finds her way to the same part multiple times, but even when she tries to backtrack and find the exit, she finds the exit's not there. Like she's stuck in this trap, this magical trap that's confusing her, and then she gets really lost and panic starts to set in and she becomes really fearful. I think the old thaumaturgist had some residual protections on their dungeons. You don't want to find their secrets. You know, anybody can, she just can't walk in and find their secrets. I mean, come on. So, fear is 1. I could probably argue that if it's a maze, it's the creator, but I don't think any of this will protect her from this magical trap I've just set up. She's still burning her torch, though, and she can still see, so I'm still going for those 2 there. But if I wanted to, I could describe something happening with her ancestral blade. But I think I'm going to use, I don't know. So that's 1, 1, 4. I have 4 dice here, or 4 confidence here. That's not very much confidence. I guess we'll roll it. I mean, I can't see any other way to do it. She doesn't really know to pull out the ancestral blade. She's not that smart yet. Ooh, barely. Barely. So, here's how magic works. If I'm not skilled in it, if I can't use a method of like how to do magic, I can use my occult training, and in this case it's not necessarily training, it's her natural instinct to use it, and she can use her training like a pool. So at any time, before or after the roll, I can burn this pool to change the roll by 1. Or no, give myself a bonus. So I would raise my confidence from 4, which is 5, which it is right now. 1, no, it's 4 right now. 4 to 5. That's it. And I would still match that. But I think I'm going to actually burn. I'm going to burn that. And then I'm going to use untrained power, which means because she is a natural thaumaturgist, I can gain confidence to any level I want, but I take the same amount of dissonance. So I'm at 5. If I take 2 more, 6, 7, I can get a strong hit. And I'm going to do that. I'm just going to get 2 points of dissonance. Dissonance is the world remembering that you did something beyond its rules, or the power burning through you and taking you over, or magical backlash in some way, however you want to describe it in your game. But you have to describe it. She is scared. She is lost. She is magically confused, and I think something inside her tugs on that, the magicalness going on. Something recognizes what's happening even if she doesn't recognize it, and the magic responds to the magic like naturally. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself that control because I'm gonna get her past this. I don't know how it responds to her. I think magic has this glow, like Anna's inner glow, like the glow that comes from between Anna's plates, the horse's plates. It's a warm glow. It's red, but it's not like angry red. It's not like a Sith Lord red. It's almost like a warm sunlight glow. And I think that kind of comes out of her when she does it. And so the dissonance around her is this physical change right now. It kind of pulls her, and the world itself kind of shrinks away from her in a way. And everything kind of looks kind of off in her vision until she can get rid of the dissonance. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. That's good. Yeah. I don't think the dissonance has any... Yeah, dissonance is just like doubt or clarity, except instead of deleting things, it shifts things into like a new way. So you can actually make yourself like a horrible person by becoming too magically inclined. You start seeing the world different than what it is because the magic has shifted your mindset. But she hasn't. It's only when she gets to her 7th point that it becomes really powerful. So this light guides her. It almost like pulls her along until eventually she's out of this area of this mazy area, and she finds herself before a door. We'll just call it a door. Now, solo games are usually full of oracles, like other charts that you can roll on, and this one isn't. But if you play Breaker and you find yourself wanting other oracles, there are plenty of oracles out there. That's one reason that I loaded Tome of Adventure Design and Metamorphica into here, is so that if I'm playing it, I'll just pour through those, and I might build a whole dungeon while I'm going and make a map of it. I mean, the other day I even made a map of her town. The area. Let's see here. Like, it's a quick map. You know, like maybe this is where she walked from. Anyways. So we'll just call it a door. She needs to get through this door. And it's intact. And it looks like it might be locked. So let's see if she can do it. She's much better at just beating down doors than she is trying to pick them. That's the difference between this one and this one, most likely. The defender is strong. It's a strong, god-like person. She got a strong hit on the last roll because of her magic. And the low die was white, so she's hopeful again. The magic made her hopeful. So we have 5. Oh, she's going to cut down the door. She's just going to pull out her blade and cut it down. I think any type of reverence she might have in this place is overpowered by the fact that she just needs what she needs because her family is counting on her. So that brings us back up to 7. I like a 7. Oh, but I only got a weak hit. Still, that's fine by me. A weak hit with a low die white. Yeah, she'll go back from hope to love. Which is great, because I've already established her love for her family. So like her hope and her love are kind of mushy together anyway. Which is fine. So, and then I get to choose one. Of course, I'm choosing 8. I'm choosing control to go up to 8. And then I'll roll for the other one. You know, I think if it's control, I might re-roll because, yeah. Now some people are probably like, well, you should make it all random if you're really playing solo. But, you know, when I get a success, I want it to go the way I want it to go. I lose a boon. Okay. I'm not going to lose the boon. It just stops working. Stops working. So she pulls out this energy sword and she just kind of puts it right where the lock should be on the door, just like burns through it. It's kind of like, I'm just going to chop this door down. This like strong, and she does, because I got the control. So she pushes through it, and then the door falls down. Dust goes everywhere, and she walks through, and she sees a 7 and 5. 7 and 5 is interesting because 7 is purity, and the feeling protected, and 5 is destruction or revealing an illusion. The feeling protected falls right into that whole, like, she's shifting to love. So love and protection is this feeling of welcoming home. With shattering of illusion, I'm kind of pulling a hard time from. You know, I think maybe the thaumaturgists are believed to be like this old witch, warlock, evil society that worshipped demons and brought down, like, themselves. And the great dark is actually that society, but the thaumaturgs are painted as that society, and I think that's the dispelling of this illusion here. So when she comes into this room, this sanctuary, it's like I picture it's like a vast circular room with, like, pillars of all these, like, noble looking thaumaturgists, and the marble statues still kind of glisten with, like, radiant magic, and she feels at peace, as if this is the most comfortable room she's been in for a long time, like almost like it's her actual home, and she feels that familiar family love flow through her, and it may be magical, but she doesn't know. And she walks into this room and she just knows she's part of something good, but then all of a sudden her blade turns off. She's almost okay with it, but she's kind of freaked out. She's only had this blade for like a week, if that. So she doesn't know. Does it need power? Is it the magic in this room? Is it because she violated the sanctuary door with her magical blade? Who knows? So that's what losing a boon looks like. I just kept it on the character sheet because I'm going to get it back. I'm not going to lose it permanently. She's going to explore around the room. Now, I don't really have a tool for her exploring around, no boons. So I'm going to use the light that is emanating and her own magical connection to I'm down to 2 motivations, so I'm going to spend another one. And I'm going to look around the room and see if I can find what she's looking for. Now, my last one was a weak hit. Middle emotion is love. Using the room, so that's only a 1. And I'm going to give her creator. The creator is a symbol of understanding how things grow and how things go together, and art and aesthetic beauty. And this room is very much a masterwork of craftsmanship. And so the creator will help her with this from her own understanding about things go together, but also just revering the parts of the creator symbol within her culture. So I'll give her those 2. So she has 4. She has a 5 again. Okay. So this is either a bad match, like complete bad match, like things are going really bad for her, or I use her magic again and give her more dissonance. I only need to give her 1 dissonance, though, to do it. I think that is totally good with me, because then I'll take her 5 and push it to 6, and now it's a good match. So now, because they're both 5s, choose a roll for one of the favorable list, gain +1 clarity or 1 +1 motivation. Well, I'm going to take the control because that's what I do. I'm going to take, I'm going to take the clarity. She needs to start learning. She needs more experience. And then I use the highest emotion next time I roll. Double 5s are bad. 5s represent destruction. Complete destruction. Revealing illusion, and that's double. What is it about being a thaumaturge that is going to destroy her view of herself, her view of the world? You know, I have this ancestor thing going on, right? So maybe the magic is resonating from the connection to your genetics and those that have come before you. They are actually your power. And your dissonance are actually the bad parts, the people who have done horrible things. It's not them, it's like the negative emotions. So maybe when you summon your magic, you are really summoning the essence of everybody that's come before you. And the dissonance is the backlash of the positive. So it's the dark emotions are bringing you down. Yeah. I think there's some kind of a dichotomy there where that's how magic works in this world. Yeah. And so the revelation then is that she has access to nearly godlike potential and power if she's willing to sacrifice, if she's willing to go to lots of extremes of her emotions and who she is, and if she's willing to give herself over to the thoughts and feelings of everybody that's came before her. Almost like her own personality was going to have to be subsumed by the personality of those who give her the power to overcome obstacles. As if she isn't just Luna, she is her family in its totality expressing itself that way. And that's what tore the thaumaturges apart. That's what caused them to war on themselves and fall apart, according to legend. But I think that there's something about the great dark that spurred that, and she doesn't know that. But what she does find is something that tells her all of this in this place, but not yet. She has to find that first. But what she does find is a sealed ark, like the Ark of the Covenant. It is on a pedestal in the middle of the room, and it is beautiful with depictions of trees carved into marble. And that's when she realized that the whole room looks like like it's cradled on top of the branches, and those pillars are of heroes or thaumaturges, but they are also branches that are holding up the roof. Family trees. I'm starting to like this. Now I'm going to open that dang ark. She thinks that the truth is in there, right? She has hope that it's in there. So she's going to roll her 3. She's going to roll Defender. And she's going to use the butt of her rifle to get it open. Because, she's a farm person. Nothing wrong with a little elbow grease to knock something open. So yeah, 2, 3, 7. Alright. I'm going to use my farmer right here to re-roll that. To re-roll the 7. I want a strong hit, but I don't get it. I still get a weak hit, so I still can get my control up by 1, which is what I wanted. I wanted it at 10 because now it automatically resolves. And I'll just go ahead and roll for the gain pressure. I didn't want to see that. Okay. I'll gain pressure. That's fine. This means I have to roll against an 8 now. I think there's all this light. This is a really balanced thing. There's the dark side of humanity and the light side of humanity. There's the dark emotions and light emotions. And I think that this temple is really to the light emotions, and she's ignoring the shadows. There's shadows in the room that have taken a good look at her. And I don't know if those are part of the Great Dark, or they're just the negative aspect of the thaumaturge powers, right? But that's that pressure. And it's going to kind of hinder her from figuring out who she is completely. But I have to resolve it right now. So I'm going to roll my dice. 4 and 2. Strong hit. A lot of goal resolution. Gain +1 clarity. Regain all my motivation. Get what I want. Because I had to roll under 8. There we go. So she uses the butt of her gun and just hammers on this. But for a minute there, she saw like things on the corner of her eye, and she almost missed hitting with the gun right. But she doesn't. And it pops open. And immediately, it's almost like, I don't know what, like I figure like it's like a spirit or something. Something that just comes and tells her that information that I had just iterated earlier about the ancestry, the fear that she's going to have to lose herself within the magic in order to save her family. But I think it's not like a book she reads. It's just like this like flood of information that settles in her, almost like the truth of what a thaumaturge is was laying in this tomb, waiting to be opened so that it can settle in the person. The spirit of the ancestors would fall upon her, and I don't know exactly what that means. That might be something else, but we're gonna keep it with that. And that's when that information floods into her about how her whole power is drawing on everything. It's not just her body that was born of these people, the people that came from before her. It's not just the flesh, it's her soul and her thoughts, and it's their energy that's pushing forward and producing magic in the world. Yeah. And she knows that. And she all of a sudden she understands a little bit more about what she can do. And she stands there and looks around and still feels at home. And I think we're going to leave it there. I'll return to Luna sometime in the future. So if you want to keep track of her, stay tuned. Thank you very much.